Hi.
How are you?
Good. I've hit record, I think. So, Alex, what's the plan for the day?
We'll have coffee, amazing sweet pastry treats, and then we'll kick off with a talk, which Jess and I will give for probably about an hour, a talk and a step-by-step demonstration.
What's going to be so confusing is Jess and Jess.
Yes, so Jess can be Jessie, and she's happy to to be Jessie for the day. We will be focusing on sourcing seasonally, how to choose your flowers, what to use to create really interesting shapes in the vase, and then everyone will have a good couple of hours to create their own arrangement, and then we will all set the table and create a really beautiful tablescape and have a late, lovely, long, lingering lunch, some delicious wine, and we're going to have a bit of a Q&A session. So if there are questions that people have about event design, anything really, anything goes, and then we'll wrap up around 4 p.m.
Sounds amazing. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, likewise. So what are you thinking about cooking, Jess?
I think for lunch, I'll make this stuffed tomato dish that I did last summer for my cookery demonstrations, and it's so delicious. So we've got an estate near us in the Borders where I live. This lady Margaret grows the most incredible tomatoes, and we have a lot of oregano in our garden, a lot, it's like a weed. So I scoop out these quite big beef tomatoes. I scoop them out and then make this filling with the oregano, capers, olives, a bit of chili, and it goes really, really sticky. And then I stuff that back into the tomato and roast them. And it is the most aromatic. I cover them all in oil, so you get these incredible aromatic tomatoey juices. And then I do this herby fricassee, which absorbs all the juice, and then a really simple garlicky oregano yogurt. It is the most summery, delicious lunch.
Oh, my mouth is watering.
It's honestly so good. It smells incredible. And then I think for pudding, because it's August, we'll be inundated with blackcurrants in our garden, and I always get asked to do my brown sugar pavlova.
Oh, now you're talking.
So it's brown sugar meringue. I make a custard with the blackcurrant leaf, bay leaf, lemon peel. So it's this really fragrant, interesting custard. And then I layer up a mix of whipped cream, Greek yogurt to take some of the richness out of the cream, and elderflower. And then I make a blackcurrant compote, and then lots of fresh blackcurrants, and then wild fennel flowers on top. Does that sound all right?
Right, I'm there. Yeah, I'm already there anyway, but
so tomatoes and pav.
Amazing. Yeah, sounds perfect.
And Yum. A delicious wine, something chilled, because it'll be really hot and sunny in Edinburgh in August, we hope.
Yeah.
So what kind of flower arrangements will we be making? Well, I'll be cooking. What will everyone else be making?
So we'll be making table arrangements in these really amazing vessels, which are made by Cara Guthrie, who's designed a bespoke vase for us. She's an independent ceramicist based in Scotland. So we'll be designing in her amazing vases, and we'll be making low, sprawling, beautiful arrangements for the table.
Do you know what the flowers will be at that kind of time?
So it's early August. All the flowers are coming from Pyrus, who we're huge fans of. They are amazing growers and florists, and they're based just outside Edinburgh in an incredible Victorian walled garden. So they're growing really, really beautiful, unusual flowers there. And I actually messaged Fiona to say what kind of thing, no guarantees, but what kind of thing will we have? She sent me the most amazing list, which also made my mouth water. We've got probably some garden roses, so some Margaret Merrills, some Mocha Julia, Coco Loco. So those are all the sort of soft, creamy coffee shades. Yum. They've got some amazing perennial foxglove, Phlox, Creme Brulee, and Isabellina, Ami Magus, lots of Achillea in different sort of summer patterns pastel shades, cosmos, asters, larkspur, possibly the first coreopsis. They've got ornamental grasses, and then she said probably some surprising treats. So maybe things like viola tiger's eye, purple French beans, yellow and black cherry tomatoes. So sounds incredible, doesn't it?
It all sounds edible. And I think those colours, I think Kara's doing the vessels in, it's a Japanese tenmaku glaze. But when she says tenmaku, it sounds so Scottish. Tenmaku. So it's like a very like brown, goldy glaze. Is absolutely gorgeous. So I feel like with all the kind of mochas and the creams, that's going to look so divine.
Yeah. Delicious, and everyone can take their vase of flowers away at the end of the workshop and enjoy it for the coming days, and then hopefully use the vase again and again.
Because we're south facing, we could set up a little station where everyone could get a really nice photo.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Creation. So the vibe in the studio is very homely. It literally is an extension of my home, and people say all the time that they feel like that the minute they walk in the door. It's just all very natural. The wall color is really special. You've probably seen it. It's like the kind of, it's this greeny yellow which changes with the light of the day, and you can't help but feel optimistic and happy in there, especially when it's sunny in August. It's just a very positive space. It makes me so happy. So I just want everyone to feel very relaxed and at home, and just to get as much from the three of us and our experience as possible.
Amazing. So the 3 top tips for setting a table for dinner.
My 3 top tips for setting a table for dinner. I think my first one is to keep the table really casual. I tend to go for more of a utilitarian setup than lots of tablecloths and linen napkins and place settings. I find that's a little bit too formal for me. I think it's that thing, I just want people to feel really at home. And so quite often now I don't even set individual place settings. I just pile up like the cutlery in a beautiful kind of pot. I have Kara's made these as well. She does these gorgeous jugs for me, and I fill those with wine, and I'll do like a stack of Duralex glasses. So I think my kind of main thing is to like keep things relaxed.
Yeah. And very social. People can just like help themselves to stuff, and it feels very, very informal. And
yeah, especially if you're coming to an event on your own. It just kind of breaks the ice if you've kind of never met the people before that you're sat with. My second tip is for floristry. When I'm doing my own stuff, obviously it's nowhere near as incredible as yours, but I tend to just pick.
I love your flowers.
Really? I'm like mortified, but I just tend to pick one thing and make a real feature out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I don't have your skill set. So
no, I think it's just because you recognize what looks good, and it's like it's in season, and there's nothing more that's the way flowers look best, actually, is just like not very contrived and just left alone. It's kind of like food. Like if you've got amazing produce, you don't need to do a lot to it.
At the moment I've just been using like loads of mimosa or loads of fennel flower. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what you'll do. Well, everyone will be doing, like setting the tables. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, everyone will make something so different as well. That's what I love about workshops. It's like everyone has a different take on it, on the like the same family of ingredients, but everyone will make something totally different.
And then my third tip is very much in keeping with the first tip, but when you're designing a menu, I try and have a nice balance between courses that I plate up myself, so it's like individual plates and portions, and then I always try to include like a big sharing thing. So for example, I'll probably plate up the stuffed tomatoes myself, the pudding for example, put a knife down on the table, someone can be mum and like portion up. So have a think about when you're designing a menu, a nice balance. It also helps you not feel like you're having to run a restaurant in your own home. What can be shared and everyone helps themselves, and like what would you like to enjoy plating up? What are your 3 tips for setting up for dinner?
Okay, I like to have like quite small vessels on a table, and then to kind of group them and cluster them, and I think that's nice, especially if you have like your stacks of glassware and you have bottles of wine, and you know, you have a lot going on a table. Even if it's not sort of, there's lots of styling elements, you still have a lot of like cutlery and, you know, gubbins. So it's nice to have like small individual clusters of like single stem flowers. I love that look. And you just kind of move them around, but you can have a lot of fun with color, I think, on a table. Like, even it's maybe if it's for a dinner party, or if you just want the table to like look special at home and you want to have a bit of fun with it. You can kind of group colors, so you can do like a little trio of bud vases maybe, and you have like light colors at the end of the table, then moving through like mid-tones, and then having kind of darker groupings at the other end. That's really nice, kind of like an ombre.
That's so clever.
So candles, I love having, I think even if it's light, like even on a summer's evening, I love having candlelight, and you can have kind of it at different heights. So you can have tall tapers, and you can have little, you know, little votives of tea lights like lower down. So you have different flames at different heights, and then spread out. So there's not too many on the table, but it's just like a really nice balance of like flickering. I think that's very romantic, and it creates a kind of an alchemy in the room. So that would be my second one. Oh, we love the like short kind of stubby beeswax candles, you know, and they smell amazing. My third tip would be tying in the food with the flowers, or the flowers with the food. You might have, you know, some little wild strawberries in bud vases, some thyme, you know, something that's really scented and gorgeous, you know, sort of necklaces of like, we love having like tomatoes dangling over the edge, and then if there's tomatoes in the dish, it sort of links the food with the flowers, so there isn't like a big disconnect of one from the other.
You're so clever. This is literally the dream day.
I know, I can't wait.